Welcome to the Any Last Words Pod. My name is Keion, aka Almighty the DJ.
Oh shit, that's really funny, and people won't know why. Anyway, my name is Earl Lonnie Hooks, aka Young One with himself. Special thanks to everyone out there joining us on Soundcloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Thank you, Keion, as well, sir. Let's do this.
What's Poppington?
Today is a good one.
Yeah,
today's a good
we got
one.
A lot of good. I feel like we have a lot of really good topics for today.
Yes, sir.
So I'm excited.
And I got surprises. For you.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I got to keep it fresh. But what's going on? What's going on first? Let's establish how we feel. What's going on? Anything interesting at all this week?
Well, classes just started for me. I upped my course load for this semester. So, my week
Schoolboy
is my week is, has been infiltrated by homework and studying and reading knowledge. So I'm taking these classes. I'm still finding room in my life to continue fishing and going outdoors. But school is definitely back, and it's taking up a good amount of my time right now. But
Excellent.
all is well, because I kind of like having a schedule, you know what I'm saying? Especially when we're not at work as much. Like, work is just kind of our schedule. But I like filling this this time that I have with something to do, something productive, that is. So yeah, man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, now that you've had, now twice your world or your time frame shaken up.
Right.
Now and sort of emptied out. The content's emptied out, which again, a lot of it is working for people, going to their job, clocking in, doing their thing, and clocking out. Yeah, you have to sort of reframe. You have to restructure all that on your own. So that is interesting.
Yeah, I downloaded this app to, like, it's basically just like a planner, but like a virtual planner on your phone, and you just, you enter what classes you're taking, and you can go into those classes, and you can put, what you're going to do each day for, each, said class. So that's helping me stay organized and helping me, just figure out what I want to do with this class on this day.
And I'm glad you said that, because I had a question to ask. One thing that you find extremely easy, whether you thought it was good, whether you knew you were going to walk into this and it was going to be easy or not, or it was a surprise and you came and you were like, oh damn, this is surprisingly easy for me to figure out this, or to do this type of work, or this class is a breeze because of this. And then one thing that's kicking your ass, whether you knew it was going to kick your ass or it was surprisingly kicking your ass.
I think I knew. Well, here's the thing. Hold on. Can I answer that? I've only been in school for like a week now.
Okay. What about like school in general? You've been doing school, yeah. So school in general is something that's easy, that comes easy to you, whether it be like you're really good at essays, but you suck at whatever the fuck else. I don't know. I don't know how you school these days.
I will say this. Because I'm an IT major, and these computer classes, as computer savvy as I thought I might have been, some of the stuff that I've learned over the last year and a half or so have been a little like, oh man, I don't know as much as I thought. I'm taking a class right now called database management. I'm using Microsoft Access. Basically, it's like Excel, but on a whole nother level. And it's just very wordy. There's a lot of words and codes and things that you need to know. And it really requires a lot of studying and a lot of reading and understanding. Because if you don't know the definitions of these things, you won't know what to do with them when it comes time to use the software. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So the database management right now seems like the class this semester that's going to kick my ass. However, I like to do really well in it. I'm hoping that I'll grasp it and understand it because halfway through the course, you can take this certification. It's called the Mouse certification, Microsoft Office Suite, MOS. And if you pass it, one, you can, jump into that field and kind of get a job. But two, I don't have to I can take the course. I can take the certification halfway through the semester. And if I pass it, I don't have to take the rest of the class. So I'm hoping that I will understand the content enough to where I can take that certification and then not have to take the last like 5 weeks of that class.
Yeah, for sure.
One surprising class that I'm taking right now is ethics. I'm learning a lot about Socrates and philosophy, and it's I'm understanding it a little bit more than I thought I would, because it just has a lot to do with just logic and reason and morality, and just a lot of other things that I feel like I just kind of use on a daily basis, logic, reason, understanding why people do certain things, understanding why others oppose those things.
Well, you would hope that people are using this. But something I've run into again and again and again is that when you start to learn something more and more, it becomes second nature. So then you start to project and you assume that other people know what the fuck it is that you know. And that just isn't the case, or that they think about things the way that you do. That's clearly not the case. So when you say you go and you're always making these moral and ethical judgments in hopefully the most reasonable way you can at that time, I mean, people fall short of that every day. So
yeah. And another thing that I'm enjoying about that class, and I've never seen anyone else do this before, but my professor for that class, so like everything's virtual now, and this isn't a class where like I sit down at my computer and I use like Zoom or whatever, and there's some guy on the other end kind of lecturing to us. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, but for this class I don't have that. However, my professor has taken it upon himself to make a YouTube channel and make a bunch of YouTube lectures that we can just go and watch at any time. So each week he'll release a new one, and it's just him like walking down the street in his neighborhood, just using a little mic connected to his shirt and just kind of rapping, just kind of walking around the neighborhood, telling us about the lecture, talking about Socrates and shit. And I'm just like, this is a pretty cool approach. I like what he's doing there.
And you feel like you're grasping the information in that way?
I think that I'm grasping it better than if he were to just put up an announcement in Blackboard and would just just type, what I'm saying? It puts a face to a name. It's something I can go, I'm kind of a visual learner, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like, if I can see the things that are happening in front of me, if I can have someone tell it to me versus me just like reading it out of a book, I tend to grasp things a little bit better that way.
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, I'm the same way. That's why I always liked chemistry, but had a hard time in mathematics.
Yeah.
because in chemistry class, I was able to do all these things, but I could see a reaction. I could see some shit explode, or some shit at least bubble up or fizzle, or turn from one state to another in some way, shape, or form. So like that was interesting to me. I liked seeing that. But just working through 3 sheets of paper just to find out that X = 2 was not tight for me. Like
right.
I didn't really fuck with that.
Right.
But
and then I'll just hold on real quick.
No, go for it.
Because I've talked about 2 of my classes already. I'm gonna just tell you about the third one I'm taking. The third class I'm taking is just an elective. It's a customer service class. Yeah, I know. It's a customer service.
You need to go
class.
in there and tell them niggas what it is.
Right.
You need to go teach them.
But it's a lot deeper than anything that me and you have done.
Than us just talking shit about people.
Right, basically. You're learning a lot about, about really how businesses use customer service, how they're outsourcing and offshoring, different types of work and things like that. It gets a lot deeper than just you know, you serving something up to a table or me bringing out a pair of kicks.
Yeah,
So you know,
completely.
it's a cool class, and I think that I'm gonna do well in it because it's customer service. So
Yeah,
yeah,
so you'll be fine.
yeah.
So my
Wacky journal.
wacky journal time. For people that have been listening to this podcast for a while, they'll know what this is, our word association game. For people that have not been listening in, it's just word, thought, tennis. Isn't that what I said?
This is gonna be our first
kick,
time.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say this is gonna be our first time
what?
doing one face to face. Or
I believe so.
Like
I believe so. So I'm gonna kick a word off to Keion, just off the top of my head. Actually, no, I think I kind of been planning this one now that I think about it, because I've been thinking about, because it has to do with our meaningful card.
All right.
That we're gonna get on to much later on. But I'm gonna kick this word off to Keion. Keion's gonna give me a word that strongly pops into his mind, and we're gonna go back and forth until we both have 10, I believe. And then we'll go back and sort of talk about why it is we pick these words. Clearly play along in your mind listening. You probably won't have any choice, any option but to play along. So let's see what's going on. All right. The word of the day that I'm going to start with, sir. And I serve hero.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. And honestly, I have no choice but to say Batman.
That's hilarious. All right.
Because he's my favorite superhero. So.
Oh my God. You know, and I knew that was going to be the case. And that's also going to come up later. Which is really, really funny. You know what word I have for this? I promise you this was the first word to come to my mind. And we'll talk about this too. Murderer. We'll come back and we'll go over these, but we've gone from hero to Batman to murderer.
To murderer, because murderer. What
you got?
Murderer.
This is the waiting music. Boom.
Incarceration.
Incarceration. Okay. Incarceration. Private. This is you know what I like about this game is I know that the people listening are like, how the fuck are they getting from like one of these words to the next? Like this is because everybody's mind works completely differently. So I can only imagine what's coming up in other people's minds as we go through this.
Private. You know, it's because I sit over here and I just try to come up with just a really good, relevant word. Private. Bathroom.
Understood. Bathroom. I'm going to go with racetrack. Yep, I'm just going with the first.
Okay.
Yep.
Racetrack.
Yes, sir.
Ass whooping.
Well, what did you just say?
Ass whooping.
I know exactly. That's funny. Okay. Adolescence. Adolescence.
One of my favorite words. Nostalgia.
Nostalgic. I knew it was gonna, when you said favorite words, it was either gonna be nostalgic or it was gonna be audacity.
I love those two words.
Yeah.
I love using them.
And I'm going to say audacity to nostalgic.
Okay. Audacity. Confidence.
Confidence. Understood. Okay. All right. Tightrope.
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 Balance.
Balance. Ooh. Yes, sir. Okay. Let's see. Always. Always.
Time.
Time. Paramount. Paramount.
Movies.
Indeed, indeed. Okay. Movies. Underwhelming. I'm really gonna have to explain that one. I'm really gonna have to explain why that came to my mind, because I don't want people to just think that movies are just like a fucking waste of time. That's not what it is at all. But underwhelming.
Underwhelming.
Hot dogs at baseball parks.
Underwhelming. Disappointment.
All right, that is it.
Oh wow, that went by fast.
That is it for us. Yes, 10 each. You ready to go back through these?
Yeah.
Show people how our minds work. I said hero. I said hero clearly because we have a meaningfulness card that we will read off later that says who are your heroes, and we're gonna, get into that a bit. You said Batman because Batman is your favorite hero of all time.
Yes,
correct.
Batman is my favorite superhero.
I said murderer. So here's the thing. And we're gonna get into this later when we get into hero talk. Batman kills a lot of people.
Yet he claims not to.
But he what?
Doesn't he claim no? That's Superman. That
says, I was about to say. Yeah, no, Batman does not claim any of that. He killed. Now, what's interesting is they don't really accentuate that in the movies. They don't show him shooting somebody in the face or snapping someone's neck necessarily, even though I kind of seen him do that before. Because when he's whooping people's asses, sometimes the way he's hitting people is crazy. Like, because these are regular like thugs. These are regular people in the street, like you and me. Like if we decided to go out and rob a bank, it would be Batman coming and whooping up on us, and that's clearly not a fair fight. Like, so he's really, sometimes he looks like he's killing people. But in car chases, there are plenty of times when he's shooting stuff out the Batmobile, blowing up cars, flipping cars over. There are people in those cars. People are dying. They just don't accentuate the fact that people are dying. But he definitely kills people. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, so that's my take on Batman, murderer. That incarceration.
Yes.
Sounds pretty.
It's self-explanatory.
Straightforward. You're a murderer for the most part. You go to jail. For the most part. Private incarceration. So it makes me think about privately owned prisons, and the fact that there are a lot of people that own prisons that have real weird, shady deals with judges and try to get a higher percent of incarceration so that they can get, you know, work done free, because it's free work. It's slavery at a point in time. You're just getting free work for other companies and this and that. It's like it's a weird system. Privately owned prisons are just a weird system.
So I don't know if you've heard, but Biden is like putting in an executive order to essentially shut down private prisons to push racial equality. I thought that's why you said private, but you.
Oh, yeah. Nah. That's why.
But
no,
yeah.
I just thought it probably on prison. Yeah, no, that's crazy because people are hoping, man, there can be so many people that don't like that.
Of course.
There are going to be so many people with some real money that really benefit from that are going to try to. I hope the best for that, man. I truly do. You said bathroom.
One of the most private areas.
Bathroom.
One of the most private areas there is.
It should be if people aren't kicking the door in you when you're taking a shit.
Right.
Or people peeking through the door crack, looking at you. To which I said racetrack. A lot of times I think my mind just goes to the most extremes of things that I've witnessed or something like that before. I don't know why. I just like to shake things up in my mind, I guess. So bathroom, I just think of some of the nastiest bathrooms that I've seen, because I've been in some nasty ass bathrooms before. And I see that little fucking racetrack around the tub that people have. Those dirt rings. You're still trying to put it together. Like where does racetrack?
I was waiting for the punchline.
Yeah, you see that little dirt ring around people's tubs, and because clearly that means that they take baths, I would assume, and that they just allow the level to get there and they wash themselves off. So now you're just sitting in a pool of dirt, essentially.
Right.
A lot of dirt, and then you just allow it to sit for long enough. So when you drain it, now there's just dirt everywhere and you never clean your tub. Anyway, yeah. So racetrack. That's where I come. And it's terrible. If you got that bathroom, go clean your bathroom. Like it's called a bathroom, a bathe room over UK, or in some places here actually, wash closet. You'll see WC in some places. Clean.
It's known by many names.
You don't want to go to a place called a bathe room or a wash closet, and you can't go there and come out cleaner than when you walked in there. That's crazy. So yeah, just if you got a tub like that, how you you don't. There are certain things that human beings can do, and I think if you observe enough, you'll get a really good reading on them. That to me says I don't really care too much about things. Like I don't really care about me.
Yeah.
I don't like the small things that you got to pick up. If your bathroom looks like that, and you just got dirt rings around, you don't care about a lot of things. Okay, you said racetrack, you said ass whooping.
Yes. Racetracks are one of the things that my grandmother used to try to whip my ass with back in the day. Little orange Hot Wheel track. So that's what I thought of.
Maybe I should have said trauma, but instead I said but I said adolescence, because for me, getting my ass whooped was quintessential to my adolescence.
Yes,
I got my ass whooped so many times. I got stories for days. I used to get my ass whooped all the time. All the time, backhanded in the face, because I was, sitting at somebody's house, a friend's, Reginald's house. Call my dad up. Hey, Dad, can I spend the night? No, you can't spend the night. Bring your ass home. All right, cool. Hang up the phone and just stay there. I would just blatantly, defiant. Blatantly defiant. I just stay there. 15 minutes later, he pull up. RJ's mom be like, hey, Earl, like your dad's out front, you gotta go. Yeah. And I just get in the car. You're just like, what the fuck? I told you, called me, asked me if you could stay. I told you no. You decided you were gonna stay anyway. Like what is wrong with you? So yeah, just ass whooping. Me, the bacon story of me eating up all the bacon in the morning at breakfast. and I was grounded at this point in time, so I wasn't supposed to be out anyway. And then they tell me, Earl, go get bacon from the store. And I leave the house 9 o'clock in the morning, go get bacon. And I'm on my way home with the bacon. And then I see our old friend walking down the street with a basketball. And I'm almost home. And he's just like, let's go play ball. And I'm like, fuck it. And they're waiting at the crib for the bacon too.
Yo,
clearly,
you were bugging.
And I was like, fuck it, let's go play basketball. And I go play basketball. And then I didn't come home until like 5 p.m.
You are, Nick.
I was hanging out all day.
For it. You were just asking for it. Like
I used to get my ass whooped all the time.
This nigga was numb to the discipline. Like he was just numb to it.
Yeah. I just kind of thought, okay, if the worst, and that's why I am a true believer in you have to try to find another way to get through to your children. Because if you're telling me that all I have to do is withstand this 20-second ass whoop, because you ain't whooping ass for that long. You gonna get winded. You ever just observe an adult whooping a child's ass ever if you get a chance? I don't know. It's not gonna last for that long. If you ever been in a fight or been in a boxing match or anything like that, you get winded if you're not a professional, if you don't know what you're doing. You swinging that belt and whatever it is you're doing, you got a good 20 seconds in you before you start getting winded and don't want to whoop ass no more.
And then on top of that, they're trying to lecture you while they're doing it. So they're talking, they're trying to catch their breath.
My dad used to
like
the lecture during the ass whooping might be one of the funniest things ever. My dad used to be like, he'd be like, oh, why are you screaming? Oh, it hurts? Or you think, oh no, it don't hurt. It don't hurt because you grown. You a grown ass man, right? Because you out here acting like one, so you must be. No, you don't need to scream. No, it don't hurt. It don't hurt. Come here. Bro, getting your ass whooped. Oh my God, why dude is also trying to instill some sort of wisdom in you is fucking hilarious. That is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, bro. There was one time where like my bathroom was connected to my room. So I went to the bathroom. This was the bacon story, actually. I just went straight downstairs because my dad, when he got calm, that's when I knew it was a wrap. Like he wasn't even screaming. I walked in the house and they were all just looking at me. And he was like, go downstairs. I'll see you in a few minutes. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy. You already know. Go down, I'll see you in a few minutes. Oh my God, I was terrified.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
I was terrified when he said that. I was like, man,
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Right, like
shit.
He is just holding up all of that anger inside, and he's just being real cool, calm, and collected. But once he lets that out, once he unleashes, it's gonna all be on my ass at one point in time.
Nigga, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Bro, but look, so this is how I continue.
Part of that.
I'll see you in a few minutes. I went downstairs, so I went straight to the bathroom that connects to my room because I didn't want to like just sit there and like wait for the door to open up. So I went in the bathroom. Nigga, I opened up that bathroom door and he was standing in the middle of the room with a belt. And I tried to go back in the bathroom. He was like, oh no, come on out now. I peeked out the bathroom. He was standing there. I tried to shut the door, but he was like, "Oh no, come on out! Come on out!" And so the way that it was is he wouldn't necessarily have me like sit down or turn around or whatever. It was just all the doors were closed, but it was a free roam ass whooping. That means that he just started swinging with the belt, and I was just running all around the room. Just trying to dodge and get out the way. And he's just chasing after me in the confines of this room, just whooping my ass with his belt.
All right, hold on. Can I tell a quick ass whooping story?
Oh my God, please, go for it. Do
it. In the midst of our word game.
Oh my gosh.
My dad, my family. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My parents and my siblings. We went to Busch Gardens. We went on a family vacation. We drove down, like got up early, drove down like on a Friday or some shit to Busch Gardens. Spent the entire day at Busch Gardens. Got a hotel room after Busch Gardens, and then woke up the next day. Drove to Virginia Beach. That was the weekend. That was what the weekend was supposed to be. And we were going on a fishing charter in Virginia Beach. Me, my dad, my brother. So we go to Busch Gardens. I go, I'm like 13, 14, maybe like 12, 13, something like that. And so I go to this gift shop. I mentioned the age because I was alone. I was walking around by myself alone. It was the point where like your parents would tell you, meet me here at this time. I'm giving you the power to go and do your thing and be by yourself. You meet me here at this time.
Right.
Okay. So I go into this gift shop. And for what something comes over me and says, "Yeah, we gonna steal something today. We gonna take something. Something comes over me and says, "Yeah, we gonna take some shit today. This gonna be the day." You know what I'm saying? I go in there, and hindsight, I'm thinking about what I took. This shit wasn't even worth it. Like I don't even know why I took that shit. It was one of them fucking.
This nigga got a keychain.
No, it might be worse. It was one of them fucking pens where it had like little 4 things on the top. You can press it down and just choose a different color of what you wanted to write, what color you wanted to write in. Green, red, blue, black, one of them joints. But it had like candy on the inside of it though.
Okay, that was the real appeal to it. Yeah.
So I take it, I like put it in my pocket or stuff it in my pants or something like that. And so I start to walk out of the gift shop. All of a sudden, I just feel this.
Hand on the shoulder.
I just
felt
hand
on the shoulder.
I just felt a person's hand on my shoulder. I turn around. There's just some white guy in plain clothes. And he was like, "Yeah, I work for the park. I saw you take that item. So I need you to follow me."
Ooh.
And I'm just like, fuck. My heart drops into my stomach, out my ass. Like, and so we go to some back portion of the park. I'm sorry, don't get me wrong. He showed me some ID. If anyone's wondering.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm about to say, hey, little boy.
No, he showed
for the park. Come with me.
He showed me some ID. So we go back to the back portion of this park where like employees are at. And he's got me sitting on this bench. And he looks at me and he asked me, he was like, "Are your parents here?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "They have a cell phone?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "All right, so we can do one of 2 things. You can call them from my cell phone, or we can announce your name over the park speakerphone and have them come to where we are."
Okay, well, now you knew better than that option. I was about to say, now, don't do that. Don't you embarrass no black parents. Don't you have no black parents? Yeah, we're going to need the Harris family to come and get their badass Harris child caught stealing because he's a black person and that's what they do. Yeah.
Yo, just imagine. Would the Hooks family please report to blah 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 over the entire park?
Yeah, no.
So no, I didn't take the latter option. I called my family. He spoke to them. I didn't speak to him. He spoke to them, told them what happened, and had us, had them meet me at some place. So here I am, just taking this walk of shame, this walk through the valley of death, just
Yes.
to
But
where
you
I'm
should,
meeting my.
but you should fear no evil.
I did. I knew what was coming.
I did fear the evil.
I knew what was coming. So we met up, and of course, my parents are not happy about what's going on, and so we spent the rest. It didn't ruin the vacation for
I was
everyone
about to
else.
say, like, what happened?
I wasn't allowed to do anything else that day in the park, but I followed my family around, watching my brother and my sister have fun.
You didn't even get an ass whooping.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Okay.
So we leave the park, we go to the hotel room in which we stayed, and it was one of them joints where they had like 2 bedrooms, and so my dad tells me to go back to the room that they were staying in and wait for him there. I go back in there, I'm waiting around, and so just started getting my ass whooped. Just started getting, I think it was with a belt or something. Just started getting my ass whooped.
Yeah.
But what's funny though? I was like a budding teenager then. I had just hit that teenage, that age where it's just like I almost felt like I was too old for this shit. But obviously I'm not, because I'm out here being a thief.
Were you out here getting your ass whooped? So you clearly
and I'm also out here. But so that happened, and we went on down to Virginia Beach the next day. I was still allowed to go on a fishing charter only because it was already paid for, and my dad wasn't, because I don't know if you know anything about fishing charters, but them shits is like $100, $200 a person.
Yeah.
So he wasn't going to waste that money.
You still got to go, but he wasn't happy about it.
Oh no, no. Yeah. Somewhere inside him, he wasn't happy about it.
Yeah,
but sure. So that was the time I got my ass whooped, and also one of the dumbest things I've ever done.
And we move on to nostalgic. Nostalgic.
That you said adolescence.
Yes, and you said nostalgic.
Nostalgic. When you think of your adolescence, it's nostalgic. Yeah. I think about my childhood. Often I remember things from my childhood. I remember things from my adolescence. I remember those things that were awesome. You know what I'm saying? The music I was listening to in the backseat of my mom's car, in the backseat of her Geo Prism.
Yes.
I think about the block parties, back at my grandma's house in Southeast. I think about playing, meeting up with all my cousins, and having a good ass time.
Playing basketball, like riding bikes, walking around the city. I'll talk to girls, maybe, like whatever the case may be. Yeah, all of that stuff. Audacity, nostalgic. Yeah, just audacity to me. It's extremely audacious in the adolescence, which brings along the nostalgia. Yeah, extremely audacious, doing whatever. Did not truly, and just couldn't. It wasn't even an option to try to weigh the pros and cons in a way that was efficient. It just wasn't ineffective. It just wasn't even a thing. It's like, I want to do this. They're telling me I can't, or I know it can't, but something I've expressed before was I was a habitual line stepper.
Yeah.
I was trying to always, I just saw things out the box. Okay, you tell me that I got to be here at this time and do things this way. But what if not?
Right.
that was my mind. That's always been my mind. That's my mind today. Well, what if not? What if I don't want to? What if I want to be here at this time doing it this way? What happens then? Oh, what just happens is this person's upset at me because I didn't do things the way they want to. Maybe I get my ass whooped, maybe I don't, but now I have a completely different experience that I wouldn't have had before if I had just stayed within the box. And sometimes that's a win, sometimes it's a loss. But again, you know me, I'm always thinking that you can derive some wisdom out of the losses anyway. So it's going to be a win somewhere down the road. You said confidence to audacity.
Yeah, I just think that a lot of people that you know, have the audacity, also somewhat have the confidence. You know, I don't think that everyone that has the audacity is just doing this shit out of just sheer whatever the fuck I don't careness. You know what I'm saying? You know, you got to have some type of confidence level in what is going to happen, or you know,
how it is you're going to be able to overcome the repercussions.
Right. Yeah,
because again, that was it for me. Like, okay, I'm gonna get grounded, or I'm gonna get this 20-second ass whooping. So in order for me to live it's a sacrifice at the end of it. I wasn't conceptualizing it maybe necessarily that way, or I couldn't articulate it that way back then, but I believe that to my core, that's what I thought. Okay, this is sacrifice. In order for me to live the life that I want to live and do the things I want to do, I have to get my ass whooped every now and again, and and possibly be grounded. But even when I get grounded, I'm still gonna find ways out of that and still do what I want. So they're gonna have to find something else for me, because these ass whoopings and groundings aren't really gonna work. Like, you got to find something else. Tightrope is what I said. Walking between confidence and complete delusion of you feeling as though you can do whatever it is you want to do with no repercussions. You're the God. You are the man. You can do whatever you want to do, and there will be no repercussions that you can't surmount. And that's not the case. Sometimes you're going to get hit with some shit, and life comes at you fast sometimes. So you have to be aware of that too. But again, that comes with maturation and being able to truly justly analyze pros and cons in any given situation. So that's the tightrope walking. You said balance.
You know, whatever it is, the tightrope, whatever tightrope it is that you are walking on, whether it be literally or metaphorically, you'll need some balance. You're gonna need some balance.
1000%, which I said always, because when we're talking about finding balance in whatever it is that you're doing, it could be your diet, you know, you exercising, you know, it could be you wanting to maybe drink alcohol or something like that, but you don't want to go overboard. You are on that tightrope, so you need that balance, because on one side is alcoholism, so you don't want to fall on that side, right? So no. Yeah, so no matter what it is you're doing, I feel like if you're going to be living a conscious state, a conscious life, you have to constantly be asking yourself or be aware of the balance in whatever it is you're doing. Okay, I did this today. What am I going to do tomorrow? Okay, I ate this thing. What am I going to eat now? Just being mindful of the balance in your life. You said time to always.
Time is always.
Time is always. Yeah. To which I said paramount, because I believe that time is the most precious. It is the luxury. Without it, well, we don't quite know what we have without it. Like, once this ends for us, we don't quite know exactly what it is. So while we're here experiencing this as observers to this life, it's extremely important to take note of how you're spending your time. You said movies, Paramount Pictures.
Yes, Paramount Pictures. I also thought about saying King's Dominion, but I chose movies instead.
Understood.
But yes, when you said Paramount, first thing I thought of was movie production.
Which I said underwhelming. You said movies, and it made me think specifically about something that I just watched.
Okay.
And I thought that was underwhelming. Okay. And that isn't necessarily even a movie. It's a Netflix series, Lupin. Have I talked to you about this show, Lupin?
I don't think so.
Well, listen, for anybody out there that watches this show or is about to watch the show, have heard of it, I'm cool with the show. All right, it's fine. I think it's lukewarm. I think it's tepid. The thing is, I like the idea of a con man, because that's what it's based around. I like the idea of a suave con man going and, you know, finding his way and having some sense of duty and righteousness, and trying to find his way through it, and finding that balance between doing what it is you want to do and manipulating, but also trying to stay on the straight and narrow, and having a purpose for what it is you're doing, having some code behind the manipulation and things like that. But the guy they cast to do it, he didn't.
That could make a break.
I know. I don't know. This is the thing. I don't know exactly what it is people truly look at when they're watching films, it really, really matters to me what the actors are doing, everything that they're doing, because I'm really looking at them. And when you're gonna have that type of person, I need a suave person. I need the type of person where it seems like they truly don't have an identity. They are whoever they are where they are, whoever they have to be in the moment. That's like a true con man.
Right.
And so you have to be the type of person where I believe you have let go of all of your facades, all of these different veneers, all these other different shades of like who you are realistically, and you've let all that go, and you realize I'm gonna be whatever I am in the moment. That's a true con man. And I just didn't really get that from this guy. I just felt like he was reading the words from the script and putting on the different makeup and clothes and disguise and stuff like that they had for him. But I didn't really get that he could pull that off in real life. I just didn't get that. So that was the underwhelming part for me when it came to this show, Lupin. Yeah, give it a shot and tell me if you think the same. They're like 45-minute episodes. It's not too bad.
Real quick before you move on, I watched the movie yesterday. I won't say that it was underwhelming, but it's one of them joints that I feel like you need to watch one more time to try to understand it the best you can. I watched Tenet yesterday with I believe it John David Washington, Denzel Washington's son.
Yes.
One, let me tell you, that man sounds just like his dad when he speaks.
I know. I've watched him in plenty of things before. I used to watch Ballers with The Rock in it. Yeah,
okay.
But
yeah.
I stopped watching it. But yeah, he definitely sounds just like him. He's got the same cadence, like the same. The same sort of straight driving force with his words. Yeah.
He sounds just like him. That movie it's kind of confusing. It's kind of tough to follow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's very fast paced. It just moves from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
If you get a chance to watch it, I don't know.
I'll definitely I'll give it a chance.
Check it out.
What'd you watch it on?
Amazon Prime. You can rent it for like $5.99 right now.
Bet I got somebody with an account.
Bet you got somebody with an account.
To which you said disappoint, underwhelming, disappoint, synonymous.
Disappoint.
Yeah, understood. All right, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that was a good round. That was it. That is session 4 for us. That is our fourth one.
Cool.
Fourth installment. What I would like to move on to is a type of hero. All these things, honestly, they're someone's hero. They're different. There's levels to this. So there are different types of heroes and heroes for different reasons. Batman's out there and he's saving people. He's going over Gotham City, grabbing up thugs. Where is he? Always looking for the Joker and shit like that. And then, but he's murdering people, and we allow him to sort of get away with that. We don't focus on it too much, right?
Nope.
And so these are different types of heroes. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say every building or thing he blows up is not vacant.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like and to be honest with you, there've been some civilian casualties. Like there's had to have been some collateral damage when he's blowing up bridges in buildings. Like someone else had to die. You don't ever catch too many, like a load of people on the Gotham streets. Actually, no, people die. People die. But the next type. So I want you to bring this in because you read about it, which was the state of Maryland.
Yes. So
go ahead.
The state of Maryland has basically, I don't know if it's a law or not, but however, it was ruled in the state of Maryland that rap lyrics could be used in court cases to basically put niggas away.
Right. Yeah. Rap lyrics are being ushered into the court of law as permissible evidence, right?
Yes.
To be placed in front of
for wording that way.
To be placed in front of a jury.
Yeah, and at first I just thought of it as just another way for them to just get niggas out of here.
Okay.
Because and I know that you didn't necessarily see it the same way. So I'd like you to tell, to repeat what you said to me when we spoke about it. But I just thought it was interesting that just music in general like why is it just rap? Why is it not music in general? And now don't get me wrong, I know that when it comes to rap, there's a lot of lyrics that are very violent, cringeworthy, suggestive. I get it.
Incriminatory.
I get it. But I also thought, I mean, this has to be. I don't have to go out and listen to every song from every genre to tell you that rock stars and other people in different genres, have possibly incriminated themselves, or said some super wild shit that would make someone think like, oh, I hope they didn't do that, in their songs.
Okay.
So that's what I was saying about it.
I disagree. I do not. I think that rap music is, as much as we love it, it is overwhelmingly just brimming over with incriminatory lyrics.
No,
like the fact that we came up with this idea, and often we don't have to do research. Off the top of our head, we can think of lines where, if put in front of a jury, you're thinking, oh, that might not go very well for that guy.
Right.
If he's in court, this may not go over very well for him. And we can do that off the top of our head all day long. But you have to go and try to find that in other music. And the thing is, in other types of music, people aren't really putting the dirt that they're doing. They may talk about like a wild night or partying or whatever the case, but they're not necessarily talking about so much of the dirt that they're doing on the streets in their songs as explicitly as it is in rap music. And that's what we're going to get into today. We're gonna look at some of these lyrics. You've gotten a couple. I got a couple prepared, and we're gonna talk about these. But I mean, yeah, no, it's not even, it's completely lopsided. It's not even a contest really when it comes to other genres musically versus rap music. And so I think that's probably the case. And when you hear about all these rappers dying and all the dirt that they're doing, and the street life that they come up in, I think, now, not saying that this isn't necessarily a way to get some motherfuckers away. I don't know who devised this plan and what their intentions were when they did it, but that they're not necessarily just picking on rap. Okay. It's just, I don't think that they're necessarily picking on rap, but these are some people's heroes though. These are hood heroes. These are people that are heroes because they took nothing. A lot of them grow up with nothing. They didn't have anything, and they somehow found a way to make it out of a trap that it was not devised for them to get out of.
Right.
So finding yourself out of that maze is something to be applauded, although we have to take a deeper look into exactly what it is we're applauding when some of these lines come through. So do you have your lyrics ready, sir?
Yeah, I do. You want me to go first?
All right. Yeah. So again, what we are doing right now is we are bringing lyrics forth that, if put in the court of law in front of a jury, I'm pretty certain that the plaintiff would shit his pants. He's thinking, oh my God, I can't believe they brought these lyrics up. This is not going to help me get off at all. I might even if this has something to do with why I'm being tried or not, it's just something that I don't want the jury to listen to while looking at me and deciding my fate. Yeah. Those sorts of lyrics. We're gonna bring that forth. Okay, so yeah, you go ahead and kick it off with one of yours first.
All right. So the song, one of the songs I chose is one of my favorite songs, Finito by Chief Keef.
Oh yeah, y'all already know this. Okay, so, what's he say?
Talking out his neck, pistol to his throat.
Hold on. All right, so we got to take these slowly. All right, we got to take these slowly because one, they're funny as hell when you just read them, out of context, without the beat, without the instrumental. When you just read some lyrics, are fucking hilarious. but also so people can truly understand exactly what's being talked about. All right, go ahead again.
All right, so talking out his neck, pistol to his throat. So
Okay.
this, whoever this gentleman is,
Right.
he's been talking too much shit. And
Right, that is what
talking.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, talking out your neck is talking crazy to someone. You're saying things that are punishable.
Yes.
By street ethics.
Yes, by street ethics. Pistol to his throat. That's self-explanatory.
Right, and he used that because if you're talking out your neck, figuratively now, we're using imagery, then I'm gonna go ahead and put my pistol there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Blow this motherfucker, he gonna choke. If I do indeed shoot you in your neck, you are going to choke on your blood.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay.
On the ground, on the floor, someone pick him up, take him to the morgue.
Oh, all right. Well,
so this person is now dead. We need to get the body out of here. Take him to the morgue.
All right. Now, has Chief Keef has he been to prison? Is he done time?
Yeah, of course. This
okay.
Done. It's plenty of stints.
If you are in the court system and you have a court hearing coming up, and your lawyer hears that the defense is going to come with these lyrics, your lawyer is going to have a very hard time. That's why everyone should probably just have, some movies have based on a true story or based on some true events, but then manipulated to not really though. Something like that. That's what rap albums need. So that you can just get away.
You're gonna lose the street cred.
Or you need some more slick talk or something like that. You need to have a better way of talking, because when you just say things just cut and dry, like put the pistol through his throat, like stuff like that is, and again, it gets pretty explicit sometimes. People will give you street names, their friends that were there, the guns, where you can find the shell casings on the street, like where the fingerprints might be. Like they'll tell you everything that they need to put themselves in prison. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, that's definitely something that they don't want.
Hold on. So this last piece I want to read all together. It's a couple of bars, okay?
Okay.
I'm riding through New York, finna go and shoot New Jersey up. Try to take my chain, I ain't going. We gonna come and blow New Jersey up.
So first and foremost, this guy has a problem. He clearly lives on the other side of the bridge, and he has a problem with at least someone from New Jersey.
Right.
But probably a clique of people that reside in New Jersey. So now he's starting a war with New Jerseyans. That's crazy. I'm gonna come blow it up
and blow New Jersey up. No more New Jersey.
That is terrorism. That is domestic
terrorism. Yes.
Yeah. If I'm sitting in court with my suit on, I definitely don't want somebody to play the track and it's my voice saying those things.
God forbid they think I killed someone in New Jersey. So
that's another thing. If any of these things are too specific, like if someone in New Jersey died, and your name is linked to it, and then they play these lyrics, Chief Keef could have got away with what he said. He's just because it's a lot more general. Oh, if somebody's talking out their neck, I'm gonna shoot them, blah blah blah. But then you're saying, listen, New Jersey, like y'all go ahead y'all keep talking that shit. I'm gonna come blow y'all up. Now, if some people in New Jersey die and you were around the scene or something like that, if somebody put your name to it, and then I play that lyric, it's not gonna go over too well.
You had a hotel reservation in New Jersey at the time.
You're right, for one night.
Yep.
And it was the night. Yeah. No, it's too bad. All right.
Yeah.
So wait, those are two different people.
What do you mean?
Like, do you have any more lyrics to go?
Not for that song. I do have another song though.
Okay. So that was the same. Oh, that was the same song.
That was one song. Yeah.
Okay. So no, Chief Keef might fuck around and go to Okay, that could have happened to him if that happened. Okay. All right. Now I'm gonna do one and then we'll go back to you.
All right.
So my first one. So I decided to choose two people that are in prison currently.
Hold on. Who did
you want to try to guess?
I chose someone that's also in prison. I'm hoping that we didn't choose the same person, or at least not the same song.
It don't matter because I got Mo. I got Mo in my mind. Yeah, I got this all day. So the next one is a song called "Murder on My Mind."
Oh, okay.
By YNW Melly. So he is incarcerated right now. I believe he's still waiting on his trial. But he's been locked up for a while now, and he has been accused of killing or being implemented in the killing of two of his friends that were also in his rap group. And there are theories that it has something to do with the splits. It has something to do with how the money was going to be split amongst them as they continued on. But now, we killed him too. Now it's just us two because I believe there's one more left, and he's also implemented, into this crime or accused of. Now, if I was on trial for that, I'm going to now read you the lyrics that I would not want to be read aloud or played at my trial.
Yeah.
So here we go. And keep in mind that the title of the song is "Murder on My Mind."
Yes.
Okay. Yellow tape around his body. It's a fucking homicide. His face is on a t-shirt and his family's traumatized. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He just caught me by surprise.
Ooh.
I reloaded my pistol, cocked it back, and shot him twice. His body dropped down to the floor, and he had teardrops in his eyes. He grabbed me by my hands and said he was afraid to die. I told him it's too late, my friend. It's time to say goodbye. And he died inside my arms, blood all on my shirt. Wake up in the morning, I got murder on my mind. AK-47s, MAC-11's, Glocks, and 9s. And all these pussy niggas hating, trying to knock me off my grind. Okay.
Wow. Very thorough and specific. I'm hoping that neither of his friends were shot twice.
So when I tell you that I don't think they're necessarily picking on rap, that rap gives explicit step-by-step reasons to lock them up, that I stand by that.
Yeah.
He told you exactly. His face is on the t-shirt. I didn't even mean to shoot him. He caught me by surprise. Like he just caught me by surprise. But then look, he caught me by surprise, but somehow I still had the time to reload the pistol, cock it back, and shoot him twice after he caught me by surprise. But yeah, so if I'm on trial for what he's on trial for, those are the worst lyrics. The worst.
Right.
Because it's a song talking about how you killed a friend of yours that you didn't want to kill, but you did it. So yeah. So yeah. Go ahead. On to yours. On to the next, sir.
All right. So the next one I got is Hot Nigga by Bobby Shmurda.
That's the one that you were thinking about. Yeah, because I have one from him too, but we'll see if it's the same lyric. If it is, again, I have another, I can have a completely different one. Go for it. Hot Nigga by Bobby Shmurda. Murder.
Yeah. I'm Chewy, I'm some hot nigga. Like I talked to Shiesty when I shot niggas. like you see him twirl when he drop, nigga. And we keep them 9 millis on my block, nigga. And Monte keep it on him. He didn't drop niggas. And Trigger, he be wildin'. He's some hot nigga. Tones known to get busy with them Glocks, nigga. Try to run down and you can catch a shot, nigga. So what's crazy about this is that
oh my fuck, dude, I'm fucking crying.
All these things were said, and not too long after, he and a bunch of his friends went to jail. So
oh man, Bobby Shmurda was putting them hits out.
I'm not gonna doubt that some of these things in what I just read did not. I'm sure these things happened.
Hold on, can you go down? Can you just start when he started name dropping his friends? Just like
he said.
Oh, it's so funny to just start dropping your name. You're like, you can say whatever you want about you, but then you just dropping all your friends in there too is wild. Go ahead.
And Monte keep it on him. He didn't drop niggas. And Trigger, he be wildin'. He's some hot nigga.
Right.
Tones known to get busy with them Glocks, nigga. So Monte, Tones, and Trigger is out here with them guns, and they shoot people. Just want y'all to know that.
Right. That's the thing. Like, I just want y'all to know, by the way, my friends also kill people.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, man. Oh, that would suck to have that played in a court of law while I'm sitting there trying to look like an upstanding citizen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sucks. Okay.
Niggas go into court, shave their beard, throw on some glasses with some fake lenses.
All of that. So the one that I have is from the song Hot Nigga by Bobby Shmurda, and it is none of those lyrics. Now he went to jail, I believe, because of like murder and gun charges to some degree.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I think it was, I don't know what his actual charges are, but he and all his group of friends had like murder, gun charges.
Yeah.
One of them, I think, just decided not to even speak, and they gave this nigga like 90. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick. While you hold on, I'm gonna look that up.
Yeah, they threw the book at my man.
Yeah,
they threw the book at him. Matter of fact, speaking of, you know who else they trying to throw a book at? And it makes me think of AK-47s, MAC-11's, Glocks, and 9s. You know who was probably waking up listening to that song? Is the guy Eric Munchell, who is the zip tie guy from the state capitol riots. When the guy that everyone knows that was running around with the zip ties ready to tie some people up, they got to this man's house. This motherfucker, I don't know if you've seen the photos yet. This motherfucker he was Call of Duty. He had tactical vests in the crib. Like I think it was like 15 guns. He had assault rifles, sniper rifles, pistols, revolvers, over 100 bullets of ammunition, like rounds of ammunition. He had all sorts of stuff in the crib. So they're trying to get him off the streets and trying to throw the book at him. I think it was like 20 plus, like 20 max or something like that. Because they're like, if we just let this dude off, we clearly he was in the state capitol with the zip ties. So we know he ready to take it there. So if we just let him out on the street with all this stuff, we don't know what might come next. So yeah, they getting him out of there. But that, I think he was definitely woke up with murder on his mind. He was definitely on that YNW Melly.
So real quick, Santino Boderick, 23, also known as Quano, was convicted of...
For sure. This nigga's name is Santino and go by Quano. Let me tell you listeners, if you ever catch a nigga named Santino and he go by Quano, he's in these streets heavy. Hey,
what was that nigga's name that Carl knew that I said just had a real like shady ass name?
Oh my
What was that
gosh.
nigga's name? You remember?
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna remember it. I'm gonna remember it later.
His name was so shady.
Oh my God, it's gonna come to me. It's gonna come to me.
Um,
That is funny. Yeah, but sometimes people do just
but
have shady names.
so yeah, Santino Boderick, also known as Quano, was convicted of 23 counts, including charges of conspiracy to commit murder, attempted murder in the second degree, attempted
Damn.
assault in the first degree, and criminal use of a firearm in the first degree. Boderick was sentenced to 117 and a half to 130 years in prison for his involvement in gang warfare.
Damn, nigga.
And Pete this man was 23.
Oh my.
What a waste. What a waste of life.
Son,
Yes, sir.
can
Yes,
you
sir.
imagine sitting in court and the judge hits the gavel and says 117 years? Like, what are you even talking about? What do you what did you just say to me? At this point, I'm gonna try to run up there and fight the judge because why not? Like, I'm gonna try to run up there and try to at least just swing on him. Just try to be somebody, at least get one good one on him. For what? Why not? I'm gonna be in jail for 117 to 130 years. So why not?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Yep.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. All right. So that's that. I actually have one more. This person is not in jail. He's just a funny dude, but this is just something you just wouldn't. I just think it's funny. So this is.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Were you going to skip over the Bobby Shmurda? Were you just going to skip that, or?
Oh, you're right. I didn't even do that. We got caught on his friends and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So you're right, because I brought up the fact that why he got locked up.
Right.
Him and all of his friends.
Yeah.
And this line doesn't necessarily have to do with those charges. But if I play this in front of a jury, it doesn't help things. And it's also just something we got to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
I've been selling crack since like the 5th grade. All right.
This nigga is well versed in the art of drug selling.
I've been selling crack cocaine since like the 5th grade. Do you remember what you were doing in the 5th grade, Keion? Do you remember like roughly what life was like for you?
Yes, I was going to school. I was putting rubber bands on the ends of my pants.
Right. Okay.
I was growing my hair out to get cornrows.
Yes. Did you have a perm at that time? Because you had a perms at some point in time.
I mean,
you had the Cat Williams lay back.
Every so often, I got a little perm and just switched it up, or my mom put one in my hair.
Okay.
But every so often I got a little perm. You know, like when I had long hair like that, everybody was just always so excited to see it not in cornrows, especially like white people that wanted to touch it and shit. So
weird. Yeah. Anyway, okay. I was riding bikes, running around, sticking my head in the mud. I don't know, whatever like you do as a young child. There were rope swings back in the woods. It seemed like a jungle to us. We're playing manhunt and tag and all this. We're having a bunch of stuff, stealing, candy and Sprites from 7-Eleven. Like, you just run around, you do regular kid selling crack. That's wild, because that's no endeavor for yourself. Clearly, there's some OGs on the block that have you selling crack for them. You off drugs and you're going off and on a corner selling crack. That's wild. There are a lot of things in rap that people accentuate and they're clearly hyperbolic about some of the things that they're doing, but that's someone's story. That could have very well been Bobby Shmurda's story. So like that could have been the case. It's been case for other people. So I just thought that was wild. And you also know that the crack game it's not a safe game to play. It's not peaceful, meaning you might need to have that piece on you. You might need to have that gun on you. So it just only makes me think that you've been around guns, murder, and violence even more than we know you to have been. And I don't like you just that much more because you've been selling crack for How old is Bobby Shmurda? Like, so you've been selling crack for like 15 something years and you 20 something, which is crazy. So yeah, I want to say that. Now the last one is by Young Thug, Anybody, featuring Nicki Minaj. He starts off, I never killed anybody. Okay, cool. All right, Young Thug. That's nice of you to say. You've never killed anybody. All right, bravo. But I got something to do with that body. I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. I got the I got the streets on my back. Carry it like I'm moving the body. I told him to shoot 100 rounds like he trying to movie the body. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school. That's a truancy body. Okay. All right, Young Thug. If you're ever on trial for this, saying I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that body. You have automatically told me that you didn't kill the gentleman, but you are now somehow in cahoots with the people that did. I got the streets on my back. I don't understand why people feel the need to have the streets on their back. You don't have to do dirt in the streets in order for the streets to continue to be the streets. You don't have to. You don't have to put the streets on your back. You don't have to do that.
Streets gonna be there.
They're gonna be fine without you.
Without you.
Exactly. Carry it like I'm moving the body. I told him to shoot 100 rounds. No one needs to be shot with 100 bullets. No one. It's overkill. That's all I got on that. I just thought that it was funny because Young Thug is not out here killing people. Well, maybe. You never know.
Right.
but that's what I got on some of the hood heroes and what's going on with Maryland. I wonder if there'll be some other states that follow suit or that already are, and we don't know that rap lyrics are permissible in the court of law.
I'm looking for a specific Young Thug lyric real quick. God, there's something I wanted to bring up about Young Thug. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to find it though. Yeah, it's all good. I'm not prepared. Whatever.
Oh yeah, fuck it. Fuck it. Yeah. So that's that on that. Rappers, just relax. Just relax. One, don't do these things. Don't do these things. Try to live a different life. I know it's hard for a lot of people because there've been so many rappers that have died in this past year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that it's hard trying to leave a street life, but now you're kind of still around a lot of the same people, but you just have X amount of more dollars to show and for it, to whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'm sure that it's wild, but just try to do better. And then if you're not doing these things, don't talk about them. You don't even need to invite that sort of energy into your life so people start trying to check you and try to see if you're even really about what it is you're talking. Don't even do that. You don't need to walk around with $100,000 chains on. You don't need to do any of these things. So that's that. Be aware that the court's on to you now.
Yeah. At least with those things, don't let those things identify you. Don't let those things be your persona. Nobody's saying don't go out and get that $100,000 chain. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, yeah, but like, don't walk. But don't be the dude that talks about killing everybody and taking dudes' bitches, and the dude that wears all the chains and then walk through the hood and expect for nothing to ever come of that.
Right.
Don't be that guy.
Yep.
Don't be that guy or woman, because women are killing the rap. Women are killing.
Yeah.
Yo,
women are killing the rap.
For sure. I was just listening to. Well, Duty and I were listening to the old TDE BET cipher.
Okay.
Where Kendrick Lamar went. It just amazes me sometimes, like just people that are just really good at stuff.
Is that the joint where he dissed Drake? That joint?
I don't.
No. Okay.
But he definitely killed it. I mean, maybe it was a diss and I didn't know. I don't know. I just thought it was like a wild ass verse where he seemed like he was dissing everyone in the world that was a rapper except for him. It was one of those. Like I'm gonna just shit on everybody.
Was it the joint where he was like, "Ha ha, jokes on you"?
Yep, it's on you. High five. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm bulletproof.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was, I think he did Drake in that one when he was talking about
Oh.
tucking a sensitive rapper back in his pajama clothes.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, that makes
Nothing was
sense.
the same after. He was like,
Yeah.
nothing was the
Oh,
same
yeah,
after
he did say
something
that.
dropped.
Yeah, very, very true.
Yeah.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
But then right after that, I listened to one of the more recent ones that had Iman Shumpert. What's the basketball player's
Tiana
name?
Taylor. You talking about Tiana Taylor?
Well, I'm talking.
Well, we're talking about Iman Shumpert.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Iman Shumpert.
Yes,
Yeah.
him. So what? I'm not talking about Tiana Taylor. I'm talking about him.
Okay.
So he was rapping in a cipher with King Los and Cash Doll. Cash Doll was in it. She ripped that shit.
Oh yeah, I love Cash Doll.
That was another one, but Cash Doll definitely ripped that shit. Okay. I think we can move on from rap now, right?
Yeah.
Did you have something in particular that you needed to speak on, sir?
No, I do have something, but I think I'm gonna save it for the last words.
Okay. All right, sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's talk about, before we get on to our heroes and how we feel about that even furthermore, let's talk about some other type of heroes. Athletes, not just athletes, college athletes. I was watching Duty play some video games, and it was at the collegiate level in NBA 2K, but because clearly the NCAA doesn't sign off on these sports anymore, they don't make games anymore. I'm sure you know of.
Yeah.
Because of, they don't pay their players for likeness, I believe it's called, within the game. Yeah. They can look like them, have the same jersey number, play the same position, all this sort of stuff, but they don't use their names. They're not getting paid. It was a big thing. It's still a debate amongst people whether student athletes should be being paid or not. So I was sitting there looking at it, and he was telling me why they could use certain jerseys. So Florida signed off that they're allowed to use. So Florida State signed off. You can use our jerseys. You can use our stadium, like things like certain small things like that. But and I believe a few other colleges have signed off as well. So they're doing this alone, solo, without the say so of the NCAA, which to everyone is the National Collegiate Athletics Association.
Yeah.
So they're doing it on their own, rogue, you could call it.
Right.
And so we started having that conversation as, how do you feel about the fact that college students don't get paid and blah, blah, even though they bring in millions upon millions and millions of dollars to these schools. And so we have that conversation, and seeing as how they are, citywide heroes to people, nationwide heroes to a lot of people. People take college football very, very seriously in certain places. And so they are hometown heroes for a lot of people. And I want to talk to you about how we treat them and what you feel like they're owed. So I'm certain you understand all of everything that I'm saying. You've probably been a part of this discussion before at some point in time. How do you feel about it? And how far deep have you researched or gotten into the mind of the opposer, the person that doesn't think they should get paid?
So one thing here is a lot of college athletes are African American. Majority of your NBA players, NFL players are African American, and a lot of them come from communities where they don't have a ton of money. They're just really good at a sport.
Okay.
So when I think about that, they go to these colleges. Sure, they're the man on campus, but it's like they still don't have any money. You hear all the time about these college athletes that they be hungry. Niggas don't be having no food. Parents don't got no money to send them. They just getting a free ride at the school. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's interesting because if we're talking about getting scholarships and their thing being paid for, like their board and room, their food, all of this stuff, their books being paid for, their tuition being paid for, I don't understand why they're hungry.
Well, I'm not talking. These are just stories that I've heard, and these people may not necessarily every single person may not be getting that full ride, because you can get partial scholarships and shit like that. So you could still come to the brink of where you need some fucking money. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, sure, we'll go get a job. A lot of college athletes, these niggas don't have time to get a job. Like,
well, what I hear
what
is you're not even allowed to go have a job. That's what I hear is you're not allowed to go get a job.
That may very well be the case. So how you know what I'm saying? Like, if they don't have the means to, to just live extremely comfortably, yes, I think that if this person has, has this kind of following and could potentially make money off of themselves, I'm just like, why the fuck not? Why not?
Yeah. So the NCAA says that they are college students first and athletes second, that they are not professionals, and that coming to college, coming to a university and playing this sport and having these scholarships, that is the privilege. Payment. That is a privilege. That is a payment. Yeah, for sure. So like they're saying that is it. Like, why are you asking for more? Now, I think it's interesting because clearly, the athletic directors and the coaches and stuff like that, they get bonuses based on certain milestones that they hit with their teams in any given season. So I think that that's interesting because the coach, I mean, clearly he's not in school and he's not, getting a scholarship and getting these things paid for. And that is his job. That is his day job. But he's not the one on the field getting the work done.
Right.
So that is interesting that they get the bonuses for those sorts of milestones and stuff like that. And the college students get nothing. But it gets tricky when you talk about how to pay them. So because the argument would be if you take away the scholarships and then you implement a salary instead, then one, you have to think about like how exactly, like where exactly the money comes from, like where, like what exactly are you taking the money away from in order to pay all the students from all the different sports, because all the different sports have to be paid for now. It can't just be your go for it.
I'm sorry. Does it mean anything to say that these niggas are billionaires? Like they have the money. Now, I'm not saying it's got to come out of their pocket, but I do believe these people that are running these establishments are smart enough to be able to figure out a way to do this.
Yeah. Okay. No, I could definitely see that. So again, you have to pay everyone, all the different college athletes from all the different sports, and then you have to divvy up exactly how they're going to get paid. Or does the person from this fucking volleyball team that nobody ever watches get paid as much as the star player on the football team or the basketball team? Like, is that the thing? Or are you also going to have that sort of pay gap that there is in the NBA versus the WNBA because of viewing and stuff like that?
That's a good point.
So then you have to figure that out as well. Also, if you're now paying salaries, it's now become a business. So off the rip. So now I'm thinking about where I'm going to school, not necessarily based on the team itself or the education that I'm going to get, but who has the highest bid, who's going to give me the most amount of money. And then so when you start having people have those as their incentives to go to college, then for the most part, you're a kid. You're going to try to get that money.
Right.
But then if you go and you get that money, another argument I heard is, what if certain colleges that don't have all the money in the world, like the huge universities that you're talking about, have to start paying their team's money, but then that comes out of other programs that other students that don't even know what the fuck a football or a basketball is are trying to be a part of, engineering, fucking communications, whatever the case may be. They're trying to do this, but now their program is lacking in resources because we have to pay these kids over here. There's also the argument of, we know when we give a scholarship what that money's going towards. We know that it's going towards their books, their tuition, their room and board, their food. We know exactly how it's allocated. If we just give them money, clearly now they're being paid, so they're also going to be taxed. So then now they're dealing with taxes as well. And there's a chance that things are going to be spent, a big chance, because there are children, again, we're talking about, that are going to be spending money on wants and not needs, and
True.
that they could find themselves, again, without that scholarship going to college, that they could find themselves in more debt.
Right.
So these are just small things that I was looking up and trying to, play around with in my mind. I find all the arguments really, for the most part, pretty interesting and substantial.
Yeah.
I definitely don't think
seems
it's really just that cut and dry on either side, though.
right. Then I was going to say, it seems like the whole structure of everything would really need to be overhauled to make it
Yeah.
workable for both
Yeah.
parties on both sides.
Yeah, because I do believe you when you say that we can figure it out.
Yeah.
Like, if you have enough people
if,
working towards it, you can figure
yeah,
it out.
if they really wanted to do it, they could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I thought that was an interesting little thing. So some little we got our hood heroes, our hometown heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe, sir, that I believe it's time.
All right.
I believe it's time that we get into our talk of who are your heroes. This is our meaningfulness card of the week. We've taken a week to think about this, come back to you, the listeners, the viewers, to talk about this. I don't know what y'all came up with. You can go ahead and compare and contrast like we did our word association game with how our minds work when it comes to heroes. I definitely posed a few questions at the very end when I stated this question. So, and I definitely want to talk about that because it's interesting. That's why I bring up Batman. Because Batman murders niggas. He kills people. He does. But we all understand that it's for a higher purpose to some degree. Mm-hmm. So I'm so glad that you're taking ethics class, Keion, because we're about to have a little class in ethics. we got to talk about it. What are we willing, like, what is a hero to us, and what are we allowing heroes to do? What sort of leeway do we give a hero in order for them to remain a hero to us? Like, what sort of noble qualities does a person have to have, or a virtuous pathway does a person have to have in order for you to let certain things go? And how dire are those things that we're willing to let go? So I'm going to read the definition of hero just for all of us to try to get somewhere on the same page. Mm-hmm. A person noted for courageous acts or nobility of character. 2, a person who, in the opinion of others, has special achievements, abilities, or personal qualities and is regarded as a role model or ideal. Okay. All right. We all have a pretty decent understanding of what a hero is. Remember the movie Man of Steel. This is a Superman movie. And I believe at the end of this movie, Superman's in a sticky situation. Mm-hmm. I believe they're in a bank or something like that, and he's holding the victim, the villain. He's holding the victim down, but the villain has laser eyes.
Right.
Special ability, shooting lasers out of his eyes, and he's shooting lasers out of his eyes, and he's slowly turning his head. And if he turns his head far enough, he's going to kill some civilians in the building. Now, I believe that the DC Comics universe fan base had an extremely big problem with what took place next. I'm pretty certain that there was an uprising about this, right? There was some uproar. Yeah. Superman snapped that nigga's neck and put an end to all of that bullshit. And and as soon as he snapped the dude's neck, you could tell he was completely dejected.
Yeah.
Withdrawn, hurt, disappointed in himself that he came to having to kill a being to put an end to everything that he's always been able to just fly around and fix without hurting people, really.
Right.
So a lot of people had a problem with that because they saw the archetype of a superhero. That's what Superman is. Like, we have all these different subsets of superhumans. You have X-Men and the Avengers over here and that. But Superman is the superhero archetype. Like he is that guy. So for a lot of people to, so for a lot of people to see him kill someone was a gut shot. It was, hold on a second, this is supposed to be the guy to always be able to find a way outside of death to fix the situation at hand. And y'all just had him snap somebody's neck on the big screen. We don't know how we feel about that. So, but clearly,
well,
when it comes to Batman or it comes to a guy like Deadpool, they can shoot and kill as many people as they want, and we clap our hands and applaud and still revere them as a hero. But go ahead, say what you have to say.
So do you think it's more so that they put that into the movie? Should that scene had been something else? Because what's the alternative? Those people get cut in half by laser eyes. You know what I'm saying? So do you think it's more?
I think it's them even having that scene in there to where they put him in that position. I like it. I like.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, I like it because to me, we have to be realistic about the way we look at heroes, quote unquote, idols, just influencers as a whole. We have to have a bit more realistic of a view of these people because they're people. So we have to understand that and understand what the scope of a human being is and understand that we all have a capacity for darkness. It's there. Mm-hmm. It is the triumphing over that makes the hero in a way. Mm-hmm. It's the triumphing over knowing that you have great abilities. I'm not just going to go over here. How many times you just hear somebody talk about, if you had a superpower, what would it be? Oh, if I had a superpower, I would just do this and go rob a bank and then just go be about like if you had a superpower, if everyone had superpowers, then there would be a bunch of heroes and a bunch of super villains. And it would just be constant fighting and stuff like that. So that's pretty much what's going on. How are you going to choose to use your assets, your powers, your abilities, your characteristics? And I think that we also look at that in a regular human playing field as well, because you could be looking at extremely smart people and think about the way that they use their intelligence. And it could be to manipulate people and hurt people and cause harm to people or just gain for self, whatever the case may be. So it does scale well. It's that's why we love heroes, because it maps onto our life perfectly. It makes perfect sense.
There's one thing, this might sound super cliche, but there's one thing that I feel like all heroes kind of have to face at some point, and that is sacrifice.
Yeah.
Like Superman in that moment had to put his emotions and his philosophies and all that shit to the side.
Right.
And he had to sacrifice that man's vertebrae. And it is what it is.
Yeah, it's very, very true.
Hero, like, because it's just like, if you've ever seen any superhero movie, all this, you know what? Hold on, I got something to say real quick. all these superhero movies, you see all this destruction and all, there's always a nigga coming from outer space to destroy the world. You know what I'm saying? Skyscrapers is toppling over and all this and all that.
Right.
And it's just like, look, man, some niggas is gonna have to die, okay? And it might be at the hands of the person that you look up to the most. Sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because it's always rubbed me the wrong way when people would get so upset, like, oh, the fucking city is destroyed, like, oh, fuck Superman. Like, what are we supposed to do now? Like,
right.
Well, look, nigga, what do you want us to do? Should we have just let them blow the world up or what? Is that what you wanted? Like, what's up?
Yeah, for sure.
You want us? Should we have just let them wreak havoc and just went down to Barbados somewhere and just let y'all have it? Like, what? Come on, man.
Right. And waited for them to also come down to Barbados and do the same thing.
Like, come on, man. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
Y'all should be used to this shit by now.
All right, so that's where you stand, is that sometimes it's just people draw different lines on what has to be done and when it has to be done. Oh, he had to
Like,
do what he had to do. And then some people say, well, did he have to do that? Could there have been a different way with all of your intelligence and all in powers and abilities? Could you have done it a different way? So that's sort of the question. That's what people hold these
well, you know
heroes
what?
to, whether they be superheroes or not, or heroes of our age, of our
In
world.
that in that moment though, he was fighting a being that was his almost pretty much his equal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what did you want him to do? Because
Mm.
if he didn't kill him, he was just gonna come back and try to do it again.
And so
You know what I'm saying?
you feel that way in our life as well. If you feel as though there is an imminent enemy that is coming to destroy us, or we don't know when this motherfucker might do whatever, do you feel like that's what has to happen? So you do see, you're not against the war per se, but you think maybe it ought to be last resort, or what is the case?
Um, I think a war should definitely be last resort.
Mm.
I think it should definitely be last resort.
Okay. All right. We've done enough talk about heroes and different and the hood heroes and hometown heroes. Tell us how you feel about heroes and who your hero, or who some of your heroes are. It could be one, it could be however many, whatever you've come up with, sir.
um, Heroes are people that we look up to, people that we'd love to maybe be like,
Mm-hmm.
people that motivate us, people that kind of show us the way or try to at least, and they obviously leave it up to us to make our own decisions. Um, and when I think of my heroes, I think the first people I think of are easily my parents.
Mm-hmm.
I've
Okay.
spoken more than once. Maybe I don't know if it was on this pod or off this pod, um, about being very very grateful that I was raised by the people that raised me,
Yes, sir.
because it could have been different. I could have been raised by some people that could give a shit less, and in that, and when I say that, I would also be saying that my heroes could have easily been someone else had my parents not made the decisions and made the sacrifice made to you know to give me a good life.
Yeah, you could have been raised by
I
villains. You could have been raised
Yeah,
by
I
villains.
yeah, that's actually that's a
Yes.
good way to put it. I could have been raised
Yes.
by villains. So I could have been raised by someone else. I could have been, I might not even be here right now. I often think about the fact that, like, oh man, it's gonna get a little deep here.
Do it.
I
Go.
you know, I I was born in DC,
Okay.
and not the good part. Um And I often think about, like, what if my mom just raised me in DC? What if because, and I'm not shitting on DC when I say this, because I love DC and I love the bad parts too. But in these areas, um, a lot of crime, a lot of bullshit going on. Whose fault is that? Is a whole nother realm of question. Um, but, like, what if my mom didn't decide to, like, move out to the suburbs? You know what I'm saying? What if she didn't make that decision? Like, I could have been someone completely different. She decided to sacrifice being extremely close to all the people she loves. She um moved to Virginia. And that easily changed the trajectory of my life. You know, um, so I feel like I said, heroes, they make those decisions, they make those sacrifices. Um, I appreciate everything my parents have done, even the ass whoopings. Um, and I think that they deserve that hero title for molding me and essentially making me the person that I am today. And I'm happy with the person that I am today. So I attribute the word hero to my parents.
Okay. I just like in the superhero world, Marvel, DC, whatever the case may be, I can always look at the heroes. I love the movies are very, very cool. I wasn't a comic book reader, didn't really watch, I mean, some TV shows when I was a kid, cartoons, whatever. I could always see the heroicism in the characters and appreciate their different abilities and their qualities and what it is they brought to the team, what it is they were able to accomplish, especially as a team. I never had a favorite superhero. To this day, do not have a favorite superhero. I feel like the word hero to me, it means so much. You would really have to know that person. You really, really have to know them. So, which is why I understand why you chose your parents, because you know them quite well. And a lot of times when it comes to who people would say are their heroes, which are sometimes a lot of celebrities, athletes, things of such sort, you don't really know them. You know what they've given to the world. You know what they would like for you, what they and their publicists would like for you to see, right? And so you shed a certain light on them that maybe should be there, maybe shouldn't. But to truly know a hero, I feel like is a lot more rewarding, and it means more to truly know the person that you are going to call your hero. My hero, who I would say is, this is one of those Earl answers. My hero is my future self. Older
I
Earl.
thought time was a construct.
That's fine. Earl further down the construct of time. Earl with more experiences. For me, when I think about who it is I want to be and what it is I'm doing in the moment, I do not want to disappoint that future self. I don't want this person, this future Earl, to be looking back at me now like, what were you doing? Why did you choose to be lazy in this way, or do this, or be manipulative, or be a bad person? Like, I'm here because of you.
Right.
You put me in this position, and I want to be able to make that future Earl proud. I don't want him thinking, well, damn, you know what, Earl, you were a pretty competent dude. You had abilities. You had intelligence. You had enough. This world gave you more than enough, far more than enough, to be able to make things work. But yet, for some reason, I'm in this alley contemplating whether I'm about to suck this dude's dick for a crack rock right now. Why am I here doing that? You could have done so much better. So that's the person that I don't want to let down. That's the person that when I think of this idea, it propels me. It propels me into trying to work so much harder and stay so much more aware and conscientious of all the decisions that I'm making, and making sure that I'm walking that tightrope with the right balance at all different points in time. So that's my hero. That's who I
like it.
That's my hero, my future self. That's what I got for the people. That's what I got. Is there anything else at all, sir, that you would like before I read this next meaningfulness card for the next week?
Choose your heroes wisely.
All right, there you go. The new card that we will be expounding on next week. What can you do that you could not do a year ago?
Oh shit, I'm gonna fuck this up.
What can you do that you could not do a year ago? Listeners, viewers, you take that, run with it, see what it is you can come up with, talk to some of your friends about it. Also, do some of the word association games with them. Do everything that we do on this podcast. This podcast is awesome. Do everything that we do with some of your friends. It's interesting. The word association, it's interesting knowing how sort of artistic someone's mind is, and just seeing how their mind attaches or connects certain dots. It's just interesting to know exactly how your friends' minds work like that. But yeah, definitely go and take that. We'll be thinking about it, and we'll come back to you next week with some things. My last words. You just said your last words, correct?
No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. I thought that those were that. Okay, what do you got? All right, what are your last words, sir?
My last words are, my son turned 11 2 days ago. I asked that, obviously most of you people don't know him, but I asked that you, in your mind or whatever, wish him a happy birthday, wish him wealth and prosperity in his mind and in his spirit and in his body for the rest of his years. I would appreciate it.
I love it. I love it. I will say, what will I say? I would say that being a hero clearly is relative. What we allow people to get away with and what sort of nobility we're looking for in people to deem them heroes is relative to a degree. But what I will say is that, as Keion just said, his parents being his heroes, my future self being my hero, you, every single one of you listening, can be a hero to someone.
Yeah.
You can be a hero to your brother, your sister, your parents, maybe. You can be a hero to yourself. You have it. We've defined what a hero is. We've talked about all different sorts of heroes. Find that hero in yourself. That's what I got. Those are my last words. Find the hero in yourself. That's it.
Like it.
We out.
Peace.
Peace.